please join me and welcome Ashley Pennewell.
I'd like everybody to close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in, and let it out. Keep your eyes closed, and please keep breathing. I want to take you into the moment. So try your best to get whatever is on your mind off your mind. And I know that can be really hard. Go ahead and take another deep breath, and let it out. Now go ahead and open your eyes, and look around. Notice where you are in this moment, and who you're with. You're at Toastmasters, specifically LifeWires. And right now, while 1 million people are going about their days, you decided to spend your time here. So I want you to really appreciate you being here right now. I believe we spend way too much time thinking about our past and worrying about our future. And we forget to focus on the only part that is real, the present moment. The present moment is where you're happy, you're content, you're alive, and you're free. You're them. The past and the future, they're not tangible. They only exist in our heads. And they can weigh us down. So let's not forget that life is made in the moment. Time will wait for nobody. So I'm going to tell you that life's precious moments will pass you by if you don't learn to be in the present. If you don't realize that life is a process. And if you don't connect with others around you. Who here spends way too much time overthinking? Yeah, I know I do too. I've recently learned that giving more thought to a problem, applying more thought, isn't always the best solution. It actually can slow us down. We try to use our past and what we think we know, our limited knowledge, to reason the things that we can do today or the things that we may be able to do tomorrow. But this is a bad investment of our time. It often prevents us from seeing the opportunities that are right in front of us and taking our next step forward. So a few tips to be living in the moment or living in the present is to be more mindful, and this is a state of being active and open and intentional towards paying attention to the present. Yoga has really helped me with this because it makes you focus on your breath, and just by the process of focusing on your breath means you're becoming more present. You're able to observe your feelings and your emotions outside yourself. Another step is to savor your experiences. Whether you are walking down the street, whether you're making dinner, focus on what you're doing. What do you smell? What do you see? How do you feel? Just notice it all. And I started to do this because I started to really overthink when I was taking showers. I was just like washing my hair and overthinking, and it was just, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention to the water on my skin and what's around me. And so I started to try to really focus in the shower. And those are just some ways to be a little bit more present. And this will allow us to enjoy the moment, bring us some more clarity and contentment in our lives. We also have to realize that life is a process. What makes us stop from living in the moment? It's the hurdles, the challenges, our self-limiting beliefs that we're not good enough. And we get so fixated on these obstacles. We need to realize that life is the process of becoming. And there's a bunch of states that we do have to go through. People are really exposed these days to so much knowledge. We see experts in their field achieving great things. We see extraordinary people. And we often forget about the process that it took them to get there. Their success didn't come overnight, and ours won't either. There was a lot of long nights. There was a lot of tears shed. I know before I gave my speech last time, the whole day I spent crying because I was so nervous about what I was going to say when I was up here. Now I'm learning that I too am going through a process. So we can't reach where we want to be without taking these necessary steps. So we can't avoid being afraid. We can't avoid going through the hard growth points in our life. And I think often we don't trust ourselves enough to do it. And this is, again, just to realize that we're going through a process and we're not competing with anyone else but ourselves. So some tips to do this is to approach life a little bit more actively. There's a big difference between approaching life passively and actively. And actively really puts you in the driver's seat. And you have to trust yourself to take on the challenges. If you see where you want to be, there's no way you're going to get there unless you push yourself hard. And growth comes in small steps, so be patient and don't think too much about it. Just as there's going to be good days, there will also be bad days, and they come and go. Along with the long days, the exciting days, it's just the mindset you take about your life's journey that's critical. And on this journey, we are running into people all of the time. So there's a misconception, I think, or a lack of understanding of the importance of us having to connect with others. Every interaction with somebody is important, whether it's at a pit stop on the side of the road or it's a close family member. We all play a role in someone else's life. And you really gain a lot more perspective when you talk to others. That's why I personally like networking so much, because the goal isn't to meet everybody. The goal is really to form the foundation for a long-lasting, value-adding relationship. And the goal is to simply make meaningful connections. So some things to help you connect with others is to really listen. People love to talk about themselves. So if you really are intent on listening to their needs, their viewpoints, and their perspective and their problems, and if you're able to express your own to them back, then it's mutually beneficial. Also ask questions. A really great way to connect with others is to go deeper than the surface level. So probe. In a business sense, for me, it's getting to the root of a problem and working collaboratively with others to find a solution. Also, just communicate more. Communicate often and a lot. I've learned that more communication and not less often always results in a better understanding of one another. And my last point is to just be authentic. Be real and more genuine, and you'll really connect with others. Our world hosts so many different beliefs and viewpoints and opinions, and there's so much life experience and knowledge that we gain from connecting with others. In conclusion, time is really the most valuable resource. So don't waste time on second guesses that will turn into what ifs and should haves. Be in the moment, not in your head. The world keeps changing and everything keeps moving. So be present. Realize life is a process. Connect with others. And actively live life in the moment. Thank you.